Hey YouTube, it's me again. I'm back with another video. I know it's been a while. This video, I'm going to address going to nursing school as a single mother. My experience was one from hell, to be honest with you. I have 3 children. Um, it was one of the hardest things that I ever had to do in my life, besides a divorce. And it seems like everything was okay until I started nursing school, and then that's when all hell broke loose. Every week we had an exam. A lot of times we were taking like 2 or 3 classes at one time, and so we'll alternate. So it would be like an exam for like psychiatric nursing this week, and then next week you have your med surg exam, and then the week after that it could be a pharmacology exam. And I am here to tell you it can be done even if you're a single parent. It's half, matter of fact, out of my class there were maybe only 3 people that were not single parents, or who were not or they might have been married, but most of them, it wasn't too many married people. It was more of single parents. So one of the things that I noticed, like with my situation that kept happening, was I just couldn't seem to catch a break with these damn cars. Like every time I turn around, I literally went through 4 cars in a nursing program. My car, I had a SUV when I first started the program, and it was fine. And then one day I was driving home from school with the kids, and I felt my transmission slipping. And I called around and got some estimates. Well, they wanted $4,000 for a transmission, and my car was a 2005. I said, there's no way in hell I'm paying that for a transmission on an old car. And I was only working part-time. So I had to go to this rinky-dink car lot, okay? I got this car. It was a 2007 Toyota Camry. It broke down continuously. That car was a straight lemon. Like, I had it for maybe 3 weeks and the engine blew. So then not only did that happen, I had to carpool with classmates. I had to catch Ubers. It was a disaster. And on top of that, it finally broke down in the middle of pediatric nursing, which was towards the end of the program. So, and it broke down on the highway, go figure. So I had to fight with the finance company, and eventually, the dealer ended up having to be responsible for paying the loan off. Then after that, I got another car, and the fuel pump got to acting up. It was just ridiculous. So, and then on top of that, like I had to, like, I was working on the weekends at a nursing home as a CNA. I had to do doubles. So I was in class Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. And then I had clinicals like 2 or 3 days a week. My last class, med surg 2, I had clinicals 3 days a week. And my car was broken down then, so I had to hitch rides again. And what happened was, while I was working 16 hours on the weekends at this nursing home, I worked 7A to 11P as a CNA. And these people, there were no Hoyer lifts, there were no assistive devices. I had to manually pick these people up. It was back-breaking hard work. And then during the week, I had to drive Lyft to make extra money. I had to pay for before school care for my youngest daughter. Now, I was lucky in the fact that I have a 17-year-old daughter that was, she was very, very supportive, gave me no trouble at all. She had no problem picking, her younger siblings up from school and dropping them off. She had no problem, but in the same sense, it's kind of like crappy for her, because she did have to make a lot of sacrifices for me while I was in the program. There was times we had to miss parades, we had to miss school events. It was a lot of different things that we had to bypass on because I had to study so much, and then I always had an exam. I had care plans due to which I understand you have to learn how to do a care plan, but to be honest, they don't use those anymore in the real world of nursing. We had assignments due on the computer that were due weekly, and if you didn't do them, you lost points on your exam. Then my laptop went out on me. I was renting from a slumlord. He was just terrible. This man was horrible, so horrible, and I lived in such a bad neighborhood. It was horrible. But that was all I could afford at the time because I was working part-time. Then I had like several people pass away in my family. It was a lot of stuff that I went through. So that's saying that they say that if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen to you when you're in nursing school. I don't know whoever created that, but they're spot on 100%. Then I had issues with, like, the daycare center opening up too late. Like, they opened up at 6:30. So, and I had to be in class at 7, so I had to find another daycare that opened at 6. And then, luckily, my youngest daughter was in pre-K and kindergarten while I was going through the nursing program. So I only needed them for before school care, and then she was able to get free after school care through her school, so that saved me some money. But I was like basically in between a rock and a hard place. Was it like, do you work more and let your grades slide or suffer, or do you work less and study harder and like balance the lesser of two evils? Because in this situation, a lot of us were like robbing Peter to pay Paul, and it was like either pay your rent or your car note, or you're either going to go without the apartment or the car, which means you're going to be out of more money because then you're going to have to pay for hotels and lifts and rides back and forth to school. It's pretty rough. So my best advice to a single parent going through the nursing program, it can be done. Don't let somebody tell you it cannot be done. You are going to need a support system, and I'm very grateful for the support system that I had. Like, my parents and my family stepped in a whole lot, like, as far as areas that I fell short in. Like, financially, if I needed help with a utility bill, they would help me with that because they knew that I was in school. And if I wasn't in school, I obviously would have been working full-time still, and I wouldn't have needed the help. So, but all in all, don't let anybody tell you that it cannot be done. Again, more than like 85% of my classmates were all single parents. There's going to be times where you're going to have to bombard yourself in a room and isolate yourself, and depend on somebody else to make dinner while you study for an exam. You really can't afford to fail no exams because it'll like shoot your whole like GPA down and you can get exited from the program. And nursing school is really meant to like weed out the people who are not meant to be nurses. And like, don't be afraid to use like your slow cooker. Do not be afraid to ask, a relative for help, or your oldest child, and just tell them it'll be just for a little while and this is all going to pay off in the end. My kids are so happy that I'm done. And we look back on a lot of the stuff that we went through together when I was going through the program, and we just laugh now. My daughter will be like, Mom, remember you had that car and it started smoking on the way to school and all this? And I'll be like, yeah, I remember that. But long gone are those days. I was able to get, it's not brand new. So 2014, I was able to get 2014 for a graduation gift. And I was scheduled to walk across the stage this July. But due to this coronavirus pandemic, I don't see that happening. But I did finish the program, but I went to a private college, so they only have 2 graduations a year. And do I regret nursing school? No, not at all. The thing about it, I love taking care of people. Like, I am a nurturer by heart. And I figure, why not go to school for like healing people and helping the less fortunate? My ultimate career goal, I would like to be an operating room nurse, or maybe a community health nurse. Somewhere, maybe working in a community more to like reach out to like the less privileged people or the less fortunate people. And now that I'm done with school, I'm just waiting to take my NCLEX, but that's been on hold because of the coronavirus, and a lot of Pearson VUE testing sites are shut down, but I'm still prepared for it. And I know I'm going to pass my NCLEX on the first try because I study way too hard. But I hope this gave somebody out there that little push. And, if somebody tells you you can't do it, ignore them, because at the end of the day, not everybody is going to be happy for your success, and you're going to lose a lot of friends going through this program. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you're not going to have time to hang out with them and party and do all the things that you were doing before you started school. And then they're going to start to like adopt this negative attitude, like, oh, she or he think they're better than us. No, it's not that we think we're better than anybody. It's just that we're doing something to improve our lives. And I'm sorry that you want to stay stagnant, but everybody doesn't want to stay stagnant. And this, all this stuff that's going on, things are going to be way too expensive for people to work on $15 or $16 an hour. It's just not going to happen. So I look forward to hearing your comments and feedback in the comments section, or reading them rather. And if you have any questions about like strategies and time management and organization, please feel free to reach out to me, and I can make another video and break some stuff down to you. Bye.